Item number, 6193. Containment class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. All instances of SCP-6193 are to be stored in a standard large biological containment cell at Site-233. Each instance is to be fed a modified standard small omnivore diet, with all plant matter being sourced directly from herbs and roots in Bavarian forests. A joint biological folkloric study is to be performed by the Cryptozoology Department and the Department of Mythology and Folklore. Changes in the behavior of any SCP-6193 instance is to be reported to the head researcher of SCP-6193. Any new instances of SCP-6193 reported in Bavaria are to be captured and contained using procedure Artemis-78. As information of SCP-6193 is widely available knowledge, SCP-6193 is instead to be portrayed as a hoax created by the Bavarian locals to trick unsuspecting travelers. Description: SCP-6193 is the designation for 6 chimeric entities, originally located in the German state of Bavaria. SCP-6193 is colloquially known as the Wolpertinger or Wolpertinger. When a human being comes into contact with any instance of SCP-6193, large patches of hair will sprout near the area of contact. SCP-6193 instances are typically docile and generally avoid human contact, outside of female personnel that are romantically uninvolved. 3 distinct versions of SCP-6193 exist: SCP-6193-A, B, and C. SCP-6193-A's body visually resembles a Lepus europaeus, European hair. However, SCP-6193-A contains many features not typically present in L. europaeus, including wings belonging to a Coturnix common quail, antlers similar to that of a male Capreolus roe deer, long sharpened canine teeth, the back legs and feet of a Somateria mellissima, eider duck, scent glands similar to that of a Spilogale putorius eastern spotted skunk, located underneath the tail. Of note is that S. putorius is not native to Bavaria. SCP-6193-B instances all appear to be primarily bipedal vulpus, red foxes, with white fur. All instances of SCP-6193-B have the bill and facial structure, with the exception of the ears, of a Somateria mellissima. SCP-6193-B instances also have small horn-like structures on their heads, not representative of any known species. The singular SCP-6193-C instance contained by the Foundation has a long, quadrupedal form, similar to that of a martes, European pine marten, covered in the feathers of a Phasianus colchicus, common pheasant. The face of SCP-6193 is avian in structure, with an ocular similar to that of M. martes. SCP-6193's tail is that of Equus africanus asinus, domestic donkey, unlike the rest of its body. Addendum 6193-1. Discovery and Analysis. Knowledge of SCP-6193 dates back to approximately 1982, when Foundation researcher Lucas Schmidt reported seeing one in his home country of Bavaria. Due to SCP-6193's then unknown anomalous properties, SCP-6193 was unable to be captured and remained uncontained. However, due to increased reported sightings of SCP-6193 in 2011, a joint initiative between the Cryptozoology Department and the Department of Mythology and Folklorics was formed. The following transcript is an annotated folkloric cryptozoological analysis of a Bavarian folk tale about SCP-6193. In the forests of Bavaria, a roebuck and a hare mate, thus birthing the first Wolpertinger.
likely not a literal mating, as this would be biologically impossible. Dr. Rifen.
This could however imply that SCP-6193-A was created intentionally by something and based on a roe deer and a hare. Dr. Howards.
Their union inspired many other creatures to do so as well. A fox and a duck and a pheasant and a pine marten.
Yet again, likely not literal. Dr. Rifen.
This could mean that whatever created SCP-6193-A found it to be a success, and created more. B and C. Dr. Howards.
The Wolpertingers have lived in the secluded woodland ever since, feeding on its plants and insects and only showing themselves to certain people.
This shows an omnivorous diet, meaning, at least in the case of A and C, a modified digestive system. Dr. Rifen.
Of note is them only showing themselves for certain people. This would imply some sort of precognition or sixth sense. Dr. Howards.
If you wish to summon a Wolpertinger, an attractive maiden must enter the woods accompanied by a man during the full moon. If the Wolpertinger deems the man right, it will reveal itself to the two.
This could show some possible cathemerality by SCP-6193, as we know they're active in the daytime. Dr. Rifen.
Currently, we don't know how the Wolpertinger deems the man right, but is implied to do with romantic compatibility. While we don't understand the significance of these details yet, they work, as demonstrated by Procedure Artemis 78. Dr. Howards.
Addendum 6193-2. Procedure Artemis 78. Materials. 1 Security Clearance Level 3 personnel, identifying as female, that is not currently in a romantic relationship, hereafter referred to as maiden. 1 Security Clearance Level 2 personnel, identifying as male, that has a knowledge of the Bavarian woodlands, and is found to be romantically appealing to the maiden, hereafter referred to as man. 1 wax candlestick located inside of a brass candlestick holder, hereafter referred to as candle. 1 large burlap sack, hereafter referred to as sack. 1 small piece of wood, approximately 1 meter in length and no more than 10 centimeters in diameter, hereafter referred to as stick. 1 medium-sized shovel with a head composed primarily of steel, hereafter referred to as spade. Procedure. 1. On the date of the full moon, the man and the maiden are to go out into the woods near the sighting of SCP-6193, equipped with the candle, sack, stick, and spade. 2. The man is to lead the maiden into a clearing, no less than 50 meters from the woodline. 3. The maiden is then to place the sack on the ground, and place the stick in such a position so that it holds the sack upright. 4. The maiden is then to light the candle and place it within the sack. 5. At this point an instance of SCP-6193 may or may not appear. If it does not, the procedure is to be terminated and retried next full moon, using a different maiden and/or man. 6. If an instance of SCP-6193 does appear, the man is to wait until SCP-6193 enters the sack. Upon this happening, the man will drive the instance into the sack using the spade. 7. The maiden is then to tie up the bag and carry SCP-6193 into Foundation custody. Addendum 6193-3. Note. On April 30, 2002, a note appeared in SCP-6193's enclosure overnight. Security footage in the enclosure found no irregularities until 2346, when an unidentified figure entered and left the note. It is unknown how the figure entered the enclosure, as the cameras outside of SCP-6193's enclosure had unexpectedly stopped working at this time. The note left has been recorded below. So this is where these ended up. Thank you for taking care of them. Der Tire Preparator. Footnote. Translates to the taxidermist.